and a movie being filmed. So we've got so many great things that are happening in Macon, and I'm so proud of that. I would like to thank Mayor Miller and Commissioner Lucas for being here, and all of you for being here, but I'd like to thank the mayor and the commissioners for allowing us to share this information today in commission chambers. I'd like to call on Mayor Miller to say a few words. Well, he likes an entrance.
That's not my usual walkout music, Commissioner Lucas, but it sounded sweet. So, good morning. It is a great day to be in Macon-Bibb County, and despite the weather we always have wonderful things going on, and certainly many of our partners here today gathered for a very good kickoff. We're certainly excited, and I know that we can't wait to have these meetings, but we have a chance not only to break bread together, but also to learn more about people in our community, certain focus areas. I'm very excited about a couple that I'm going to personally sit in on, as well as host. Macon-Bibb County has agreed to be a super host, which means we'll have several of these, and our commissioners will be participating, and certainly a lot of our directors will be participating. So we're excited about it. One of the things that we try to move our community forward together on are events just like this right here. So I couldn't think of better partners to work with to do this. We're asking everyone to get involved in this. We're going to make this the biggest, the best ever. I know we can do it. I know we have the capacity to do so, and I'm looking forward to it. So those of you that are home, if you want to learn more information, you'll hear more about that today and how you can get involved. And we certainly want everyone to do that. If you truly want to see Macon continue to grow in the positive way that it has, you must participate in this event. If you want your voice heard, there's two ways you can do that. Number one, you have to register to vote and you have to use your vote. And number two, you have to participate in great events like this to make a difference in our community. So we're asking you to do that on behalf of the mayors and all the commissioners and all these wonderful partners we have today to get involved and make everything that you do count in a positive way for Macon-Bibb County. So thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Mayor Miller. He kicked us off well. On the Table is back, and so excited. And in person, and as he said, this is a one-of-a-kind opportunity that brings people of diverse backgrounds together to get to know each other, to talk, to enjoy conversation over a meal. And there's just nothing that brings people together like that. And I see it over and over again. When we started this, we said one of the goals was to make on the table a verb. Let's on the table that. And I really feel like our community has done that. And because whenever you sit down across from someone over a meal, over a cup of coffee, it just gives you a chance to connect at a different level. And so I'm so thankful for that. But how did we get here? We got here because of the generosity and the foresight of Knight Foundation. And my good friend Lynn Murphy, who is a tireless advocate for Macon-Bibb, she called me one day and said, "We have to do this." And I said, "Yes, we do." and because of her, we are here. And she trusted the Community Foundation to bring On the Table to Macon into Central Georgia. But Knight is they're a social investor, but they really do believe in connecting communities, and they connect us to each other, but also to the broader community. And I think of all the things that we've learned because Knight has given us access to outside consultants, best in field, what the new term, thought leaders, but reimagining the civic commons that we're in the middle of. So thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Knight Foundation. The Community Foundation has a vision where Central Georgia is a place where philanthropy, I can't even talk today, where philanthropy thrives, communities are strong, and citizens work together toward common goals. And really and truly, On the Table moves us closer to that vision every single time we do it. Kind of a history. In 2018, in October of 2018, we went live with On the Table in Macon. In 2019, we added in Milledgeville, which is another Knight Foundation community. Great, 5,000 plus people having conversations. Even in 2019, it was pouring rain like today, people connecting. But then 2020 happened, and you all know what happened. And we were one of only 2 other communities in the country that brought on the table virtual, because we realized that in the pandemic, people needed more than ever ways to connect. And so through Hop In, we brought all these people across them. Now, Zoom is such a ubiquitous term, but Hop In was a wonderful technology to use, and it brought everybody together. And we went virtual, and we brought 21 counties. The Community Foundation serves 21 counties in Central Georgia. But one of the great things that happens also, there are 2 things besides just those conversations. What we want to happen are that for people to feel empowered when they have a conversation. It's not just about talking. At our first host training session, somebody said, all right, we give you all these ideas, and who takes care of them? Who implements them? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not messaging the right thing. The idea is that what happens next is up to you. That we can't all wait for somebody else to come and do something. And I think that's the power of On the Table too, that it just really, it allows you to talk about things that are going on, but figure out, where do you plug in? Where can you and a group of other people who care about the community plug in? And so we decided that it's really not about the money, because you can do a lot without money if you put the power of the people behind it. But sometimes you just need a little extra kickstart. And so we have conversation to action grants, and those are $1,000 or less. I think the smallest one we did was $200, and the largest was $1,000. And it's just, if you just need a little bit of something to get your idea going. And so we have conversation to action grants that follow. And then the other thing, and it's a real strong secondary benefit, and the mayor referenced it, is that we actually do a survey. And the survey gives us even broader connection points of what are the citizens thinking. We do it by zip code. And thanks to Dr. David Beek at Middle Georgia State University, we have a local partner in this survey. They help us aggregate the data, and more importantly, interpret that data and present it. And so the mayor used it, I know, in his transition, that foundations use it. Or what are people thinking? And so we ask you, after you have your conversation, do something and also take the survey, because your voice does matter and it does count. So I want to give you just a brief overview and history of what we heard in those 3 on the tables we've already done. In 2018, crime and public safety and poverty and economic security were the top issues that people were concerned about. They thought that we could see improvement in our community if we focused on workforce training and financial education, and also improving the fiscal stability of the Macon-Bibb County government. That was unusual, but I'll tell you, the county stepped up and started and really paying attention, and look at what a great position we're in now. And 9 out of 10 people left the conversation motivated to take a specific action related to something they had talked about during their conversation. 9 out of 10 people were motivated. 65% of our participants met and spoke with someone they had never met before in their life. And that's an important connection. And what means something to me is that 67% of the community, those surveyed, were hopeful for the future, and they thought the best was yet to come. So then we moved to 2019, and a majority of the participants said that people coming together across the area was very important to develop solutions. So the people were seeing the power of the people, and that it's up to us. Our elected officials are important. I mean, it's got public dollars, philanthropic dollars, and then individual time and money. So it all comes together. But we all believe, is what the citizens said, that we could make our community a better place to live. Crime and public safety and poverty and economic security were still the number 1 and 2 concerns. But hope still abounded, and 9 out of 10 believed that people coming together from across the area was critical to developing those solutions to make our community stronger. and 79% were hopeful for the future. In 2020, despite the challenges that we had and really just how bleak we were in November of 2020, 80% of our participants felt hopeful for the future. And none of that brought me joy in November when we got those, or December, I guess, when we got those results. I thought, even in the worst of times, we're a hopeful lot, and we've got so much good going on in our community. And 92% of our participants said they were ready and willing to take action in our community. Half the participants met someone new, and 60%, half the participants were new to On the Table, and 60% spoke with someone they didn't know. But I want to tell you, just take a minute and tell you there's really no better way to understand what it means to be a host and a participant on the table, better than hearing from someone who does. So I'm going to call on my friends, Andrea Cook and Alex Morrison, to come and give us a few little testimonials. Alex, you're closer. I'll let you go first.
Let's see how this goes. Okay, that sounds better than I thought it would. Yes, so the last bit of information there that Catherine shared was that more than half the people meet someone new, and as you can tell, if you meet someone on the table, you can go far. Because I met my now wife as of Saturday on the table in 2019. I hosted the table, and it was about the Macon Action Plan and a lot of the work that was happening. And the handful of participants there mostly got a lecture from me. But the one person who was there who I did not know before, we talked afterwards, and then met again a couple of times, and we kept talking. Then realized that maybe we were going to make this whole conversation to action thing a lifetime commitment. And that's not the first time that I hosted a table or participated on the table, and can specifically say that this is one of those events where everyone, whether they're the host or just a participant, can really meet as equals. And that's something that I take a lot of joy from, in how On the Table has been a part of Macon's story, and allowing people to continue to choose Macon as their home and a place that they can make things happen. I've seen a lot of people who felt voiceless and powerless win these grants and become advocates and become a bigger piece of what this fabric of Macon is, this team that we're building. It's been astonishing to see. And while I'm not saying that 100%, if you're single, if you host a table, you'll meet your future spouse, but you might. But what you're definitely going to do is meet someone that you can talk to, that you can collaborate with, that you can work with, and that you can make a little bit of change, create a lot of ripples here in this community. So thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Lynn, for making this happen. And as I've said, I would not be the person who I am right now without On the Table. So thank you.
This is one of those times I should have volunteered to go before the person who just got me. So in 2018, I shared my first meal at a On the Table table, and my life has been forever impacted by the voices that I heard that day. And each year I look forward to joining somebody else's table, not necessarily hosting one, but joining somebody else's table to hear more about the vital stories of the citizens of Macon, the people who live and work here. And now I'll be able to even hear more because it's been expanded to Central Georgia. I have felt welcomed at every table that I attended. I am forever grateful for Claire Cox and Georgia Women and those who stand with us for inviting me to sit at my first table, and then to volunteer and be able to put bags together in preparation for it. And I hope that we can do that again this year. I would also say take this opportunity or that I hope everybody takes this opportunity to at least host their own table. Invite as many people as you can to share with you about what they love about Macon and what they love about all of Central Georgia, because a rising tide lifts all boats. So I've had the great honor of winning 5 Conversation to Action grants. This was the very first grant that I was ever awarded, and it gave me the confidence that I needed in order to be able to do what I get to do today. So I'm hoping that everyone marks their calendars for the week of March 27th, and please take this opportunity to connect with your neighbors. You can be a super host. I volunteered to be a super host this year. And you can host a single table. You can volunteer to help prep. And after you do all this, I really, really hope that what you hear, what you learn, what you experience, that you take that and do something, but also apply for the Conversation to Action grant. And I'm excited. I hope you all are too. Thank you.
That doesn't make you want to go out and host a table. I don't know what will. So here we are on the table 2023, and we have some BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. 600 tables, 5,000 attendees, a table in each of the 21 counties the Community Foundation serves, 2,000 unique attendees, because you've heard, once you get hooked, and you don't want to just go to one table, you want to go to more than that. So we're really hoping we have at least 2,000 unique attendees. That means the other 3,000 are going to lots of tables and talking. And that's the reason we stretched it out for a week, because I had people say, all right, well, I can't take off a whole day for work, but there are all these conversations I want to go to. So we're trying to give everybody a little bit more time to do that. And we want 67% of attendees to speak with someone that they don't already know. So those are our goals. And I need everybody here, everybody watching, and all of your friends and relatives to get on board with this, because that really is a BHAG. But to have conversations, we need hosts, and that's why we're here today. We are putting out an all call, all hands on deck, to please be willing to do this. As a host, it sounds intimidating, but it's easy. And people say, tell me about On the Table. I said, it is so easy that it feels complicated. I mean, really, all we're asking you to do is to be willing to host a group of people to come together over a meal. And when I say a meal, it can be coffee and donuts. It can be Dutch treat at Dairy Queen, whatever you want. We have a friend who's hosted it at Ingleside Village Pizza, and he's picked up the tab, but you could have everybody go get their own slice of pizza and join. Cookies and Cokes in the afternoon. It can be anywhere. It can be at your place of business. It can be after you play tennis or pickleball or golf or bridge or whatever it is you're doing. Wherever life intersects your work, you can do this. And there's also a difference between public and private. And if you're not comfortable yet hosting a conversation with people you don't know, you can sign up and host a conversation or multiple conversations and have them private. We'll help you if you'll just tell us you're doing it, so we can make sure you have all the information that you need. But you could invite a particular group. But sometimes we've had, I'll use River Edge as an example. River Edge has hosted public tables around mental health, but they've also had private tables around with specific groups of people who have commonalities that they want to have a conversation, but it's really not a place for the general public to come in. So you see the difference. So you're in charge, again, as the host, but I'm imploring you to please, we really want public hosts as well, because that's how other people can come in March and can sign up and register to come to the table. And again, though, as the host, you can pick your topic. Centenary Community Ministries is here. They had probably 20 tables over a lunch period in 18, and really talked about poverty and had some specific thought starter questions. But the other thing I want to tell you, if everybody gets nervous, what if nobody talks? The problem isn't will anybody talk. The problem is will they be quiet? You come invested. I went to one that the Center for Collaborative Journalism put on around youth and youth in detention, and it was a very diverse group of people. But again, it was pouring rain. It was 7:30 in the morning, and people. I mean, we were still talking. I was like, I leave, but it's 7:30. I mean, it's 9:30. So again, it's up to you. So once you decide that, we ask you to register your table or tables, and then we'll help you promote them. But we also ask you to take some responsibility and encourage encourage people to sign up for your table. And then after that, we ask that you be a welcoming host. Obviously, you make a space for everybody. And then please encourage everybody to take the survey. You've heard us talk about super hosts, willing to do 10 or more tables. And as I mentioned, you can do them individually, or you can have a big group, have one room, like what we talked about with Centenary. If that's up to you, you can do them if you're a church, maybe your Wednesday night supper, whatever you choose to do. But you see, there should be 17 logos behind me of organizations who have already committed to host 10 or more tables. And I cannot thank you enough. I'm going to read them because I really feel I'm so grateful to you. They're in alphabetical order. Atrium Health Navicent, Bibb County Board of Education, Centenary Community Ministries, the Downtown Rotary Club, the Greater Macon Chamber of Commerce, Historic Macon Foundation, Macon Mental Health Matters, Macon Rotary Club, Macon-Bibb County, Middle Georgia Regional Library, Middle Georgia State, Milledgeville Baldwin County Chamber of Commerce, Newtown Macon, One Macon, and One Macon is planning on using this to inform their next One Macon plan. River Edge, United Way of Central Georgia, and Wesleyan College. And but we have many more. We have some ask out there, but I know there are probably thousands of groups out there that could do 10 tables. And I promise you, you won't be disappointed. If you want to hear some stories, I will just revel you in all the great things that happen with people. So dates to remember today. Host registration goes live. It's on the website. You can register through March 24th, and then attendee registration. Remember, hosts are important because we got to have places for people to register. So attendees can start registering on March 6th, and then on the table is March 27th through 31st. And then we'll tackle the survey after that, and then you'll hear from us, we hope, in May, probably, about those survey results. And you can also sign up for updates. And most importantly, join the conversation and be part of the solution. Thank you for being here today. Any questions? You can go to onthetablecentralgeorgia.com, spelled out, onthetablemacon.com, and onthetablemilledgeville.com. And I did not mention that Knight is powering our technology this year. And I would not be standing here today if it were not for Christelle and Arian Parham and Ham Tech Solutions. So give them a big... I skipped right over y'all's name, but what I want to tell you about these websites are that they're interactive. Your host training will be on there. We will have at least 2 in-person trainings, but you can also do it by video. But the websites, the registration will be there, and then when attendees come on March 6th, the attendees are going to be able to sort by location, by time of day, by topic. So by organization. So there are going to be ways for you to sort. And so if I can only go to an on the table conversation at 2:00 on a Tuesday, the 28th, I'll be able to go, what's happening on the 28th? But y'all, if I got to have one every hour, come on, we need hosts. But I think you'll find it very easy and helpful to navigate, thanks to the Parhams. What other questions? Quiet, great. All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day.